Manchester United's goalkeeper nightmare is finally over after months of costly mistakes from Andre Onana and Altay Bayindir that saw the club crash out to Grimsby Town and throw away crucial points. Rúben Amorim pulled the trigger on deadline day, but here's what shocked everyone. With Emiliano Martinez and Gianluigi Donnarumma both available then, United instead chose a 23-year-old Belgian that most fans had never heard of. While critics called it madness, the data tells a completely different story. This wasn't desperation, this was surgical precision. The numbers behind Lammens' signing reveal why United's analytics team, the same minds behind their recent transfer revolution, identified him as the perfect solution to Amorim's tactical puzzle. And when you see what they saw, you'll understand why this unknown Belgian goalkeeper might just be the hidden genius behind Manchester United's entire rebuild. The writing was already on the wall when Manchester United crashed out to Grimsby Town on penalties. But it wasn't just the shootout that exposed the depth of their goalkeeper crisis, it was everything that led to that humiliating moment. Andre Onana, the man brought in under Ten Hag to revolutionize United's build-up play, had instead become the poster boy for costly mistakes. From his Champions League howlers to domestic blunders, the Cameroonian's 2-year stint at Old Trafford was defined more by what went wrong than what went right. When he finally departed, few tears were shed. As of September 2025, Andre Onana is out on loan at Trabzonspor. Altay Bayindir, supposedly the reliable backup, proved to be anything but. His error against Arsenal on the opening weekend, palming Declan Rice's corner straight onto Ricardo Calafiori's grateful head, summed up United's goalkeeper department perfectly. 2 keepers, 0 confidence from fans, players, or coaching staff. The statistics painted a damning picture. United's goalkeepers combined for one of the worst defensive records in the club's modern history. Clean sheets were rare, crucial saves even rarer, and Rúben Amorim's high-pressing, build-from-the-back system, having unreliable hands between the sticks, wasn't just problematic, it was catastrophic. Gary Neville's words echoed around Old Trafford. The Manchester United goalkeeper spot is the toughest position in English football. If you give goals away at United as a keeper, you'll be scrutinized heavily. That scrutiny had become unbearable. Something had to change, and everyone knew it, but what nobody expected was how radical that change would be. When the transfer window entered its final hours, Manchester United had 3 names circled on their shortlist. Each represented a different philosophy, a different vision for the future. Emiliano Martinez sat at the top, the World Cup winner who had proven himself in the Premier League's most demanding moments. At Aston Villa, he'd shown exactly the kind of commanding presence and shot-stopping ability that United desperately needed. Experienced, battle-tested, Premier League proven. Gianluigi Donnarumma offered European pedigree, a Champions League winner with PSG, blessed with incredible reflexes and the kind of big game mentality that Old Trafford demanded. At just 26, he still had years ahead of him. Then there was the third name, Senne Lammens, a 23-year-old Belgian goalkeeper from Royal Antwerp that most United fans would struggle to pick out of a lineup. No Premier League experience, no Champions League medals, no World Cup heroics, just 1 season as a first-choice goalkeeper in Belgium's top flight. When news broke that United had chosen Lammens over the proven superstar, the reaction was swift and brutal. Panic buy, declared Ben Foster. Desperate, echoed the headlines. Social media exploded with disbelief. How could a club of United's stature, with their resources and ambitions, turn their backs on ready-made solutions and gamble their future on an unknown quantity? The answer lay not in sentiment or reputation, but in something far more calculated than anyone realized. What the football world didn't see was the revolution happening behind the scenes at Manchester United. Jim Ratcliffe's investment hadn't just brought new ownership, it had brought a complete overhaul of how the club analyzed talent. United's revamped analytics department had been quietly building the most comprehensive goalkeeper database in football. Every save, every distribution, every cross claimed, every mistake, all meticulously tracked and compared across Europe's top leagues. When they ran the numbers on Senne Lammens, the results were staggering. While the football world focused on goalkeepers like Martinez, Donnarumma, Raya, Lammens had quietly accumulated 10 league clean sheets in the 2024-25 season for Royal Antwerp, and he'd done it the hard way. He faced more shots than any of them, averaging just over 5 on-target shots against per match, yet still came out on top. His save percentage of 81.4% dwarfed Onana's 68.9% and even surpassed Bayindir's numbers. But the real shock came in the advanced metrics. Lammens' post-shot expected goals differential was a mind-blowing plus 14.5, meaning he had prevented nearly 15 goals that statistically should have gone in. Compare that to Onana's measly 1.0 goals prevented, and suddenly United's decision started making sense. In an era where goalkeepers must be playmakers, Lammens didn't just match the so-called modern keepers, he obliterated them. 7 successful long passes per game compared to Onana's 4 and Bayindir's 2. He wasn't just stopping goals, he was starting attacks. Most remarkably, his error rate sat at just 0.13 per match, almost identical to Martinez and actually better than both Bayindir and the departed Onana. This wasn't madness, this was mathematics. But the numbers only told half the story. The real genius lay in understanding exactly what Rúben Amorim needed from his goalkeeper, and why every other option would have failed his tactical revolution. Amorim's 3-4-3 system isn't just different, it's demanding in ways that most managers never ask of their keepers. In his build-up phase, the goalkeeper doesn't just distribute the ball, he becomes the foundation of the entire tactical structure. When United build from the back, Amorim positions his keeper between the center backs, creating numerical superiority against the opposition's press. The goalkeeper essentially becomes the 11th outfield player, dictating tempo and finding progressive passes through the lines. This was exactly what Andre Onana was supposed to provide when Ten Hag signed him, but without a coherent tactical system, Onana's ball-playing abilities were wasted. Worse, his shot stopping had deteriorated so badly that his distribution became irrelevant. Altay Bayindir was never even in consideration for this role. His inability to command his box and handle crosses made him a liability in Amorim's highline system, where the goalkeeper must sweep behind aggressive center backs. Martinez, for all his Premier League proven quality, was the wrong profile entirely. At 34, his best years were behind him, and his distribution, while solid, wasn't at the elite level Amorim's system demanded. Lammens, however, was different. His 859 completed passes last season with 76.5% accuracy weren't just impressive for a goalkeeper, they rivaled many midfielders. More crucially, he led all goalkeepers under 23 in progressive passes, exactly the metric that mattered most in Amorim's system. The Belgian's ability to step between center backs, his composure under pressure, his range of passing, everything aligned with the tactical demands of Amorim's system. United hadn't just signed a goalkeeper, they'd found the missing piece of Amorim's tactical puzzle. The Lammens signing only makes complete sense when you understand the bigger picture, a vision so ambitious it bordered on audacious. Project 150, Omar Barada, the chief executive officer of Manchester United. His master plan is to have Manchester United back at the summit of English football by 2028, when the club celebrates its 150th anniversary. Not just competing, not just challenging, winning the Premier League title. This long-term vision fundamentally changed how United approached the goalkeeper position. It wasn't about solving immediate problems, it was about building the foundation of a dynasty. Martinez, despite his World Cup heroics and Premier League experience, would be 35 by 2028, a short-term fix for a club thinking in decades. Lammens, at 23, would be entering his prime at 26 when Project 150 reached its climax. More importantly, he represented everything United's new philosophy stood for: data-driven recruitment, tactical alignment, and potential over reputation. The Belgian signing wasn't just about 2025 or 2026. It was about creating the spine of a team that could dominate for years to come. While other clubs chased quick fixes, United were playing chess while others played checkers. This was the same strategic thinking that saw them choose Benjamin Sesko over Ivan Toney, prioritizing potential and age profile over immediate impact. The same philosophy that led them to Matthias Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, players who could grow with the system rather than simply fill gaps. But Project 150 demanded more than just youth. It required exceptional quality, and that's where Lammens' unique profile became crucial. He wasn't just young, he was already performing at an elite level with room to grow even further. By 2028, when United aimed to be champions again, they would have a goalkeeper in his prime, perfectly adapted to Amorim's system and ready to anchor their title charge. What makes Senne Lammens truly special isn't just one attribute, it's how perfectly his entire skill set aligns with what modern football demands from its elite goalkeepers. At 6 feet 4 inches, he possesses the physical presence that Old Trafford has been missing, but unlike Altay Bayindir, whose height meant nothing when crosses rained into the box, Lammens uses every inch of his frame intelligently. His cross-claiming statistics tell the story. 13.2% of crosses stopped compared to Onana's pathetic 5%. In the rough and tumble of Premier League set pieces, this dominance could be the difference between titles and disappointment. His shot stopping goes beyond reflexes, it's built on intelligence. Like David De Gea in his prime, Lammens reads the game before attackers even shoot. His positioning forces strikers into panic decisions. His body control stays perfect until the final moment. The 7 penalties he faced last season, he saved 5. No goalkeeper across Europe's top leagues matched that record. But perhaps most crucially for Amorim's system, Lammens thinks like a midfielder. His 859 completed passes with 76.5% accuracy weren't just impressive, they were essential preparation for United's tactical demands. When Amorim needs his keeper to step between center backs and find Bruno Fernandes in the half spaces, Lammens has already proven he can execute that vision. His distribution range sets him apart from every other option United considered. Those 7 successful long passes per game aren't just numbers, they represent the ability to flip games in an instant, launching counterattacks with the precision of a quarterback. Even his mentality separates him from the crowd. Belgian scouts describe a goalkeeper who thrives under pressure, who grows calmer as the stakes get higher. At Old Trafford, where the spotlight burns brightest and mistakes echo loudest, that mental strength isn't just valuable, it's essential. Thibaut Courtois, Belgium's legendary keeper, personally endorsed Lammens as his natural successor. When someone of Courtois' caliber identifies you as the future, you listen. United hadn't just found a goalkeeper, they'd discovered the complete package for the modern game. Standing in the shadow of Manchester United's goalkeeper legends carries a weight that few can comprehend. From Peter Schmeichel's treble heroics to Edwin van der Sar's calm authority, from David De Gea's spectacular saves to the chaos of recent years, every keeper who puts on those gloves knows they're not just filling a position, they're continuing a legacy. But what if the most criticized transfer decision in recent memory was actually the most calculated piece of business United have ever done? While critics called it a panic buy, Amorim saw the final piece of his tactical revolution. While fans questioned the unknown Belgian, the data screamed one undeniable truth. Senne Lammens was already performing at a level that surpassed every supposed safer option. By 2028, when United aim to be champions again, Lammens will be entering his prime as the perfect goalkeeper for Amorim's revolution. History will judge whether this calculated gamble pays off, but one thing is certain, what looked like madness to the outside world was actually the most methodical, data-driven, strategically sound decision United could have made. The hidden genius behind United's move for Senne Lammens wasn't hidden at all. It was right there in the numbers, in the tactics, in the vision. Sometimes the best moves are the ones nobody sees coming. If this breakdown of United's tactical masterstroke opened your eyes to the genius behind modern football recruitment, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the decisions that shape the beautiful game.